Hello and welcome to a new episode of Corey and Kevin Talk About Nothing. If you're tuning in for the first time,
I'm Corey.
I'm Kevin, and on our show today we're going to talk about The Boys, and if we have time, The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Yes.
That was a good. That was a good one.
It was a good one. Before we get started, though, if you'll get notifications, make sure to like and subscribe button. If you have any ideas, any spooky stories, anything like that you want to share with us, email us at cktalkaboutnothing@gmail.com. You can tweet us at CoreyKevin1. And if you're looking for a new chair at all, make sure you go to triumphchairs.com and use our code CKTAN Triumph to receive 10% off of your orders.
Whoa!
Through triumphchairs.com. Yeah.
For all you gamers, waiting for that new chair, you're like, oh, but I just need a little extra cash to get there. 10% off would really go a long way.
It all adds up.
Yeah, for all the gamers in that exact situation.
Yes.
Or if you're just looking for a new chair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ernie was like perfectly sitting on the futon just staring.
He wanted to be on, man. That's our guest star.
That's our guest for this evening, Ernie.
Yep.
I mean, he just always has the best places to hop up to, and then he's always staring. Like,
Always.
if he's sitting somewhere who just stares at you, and you're just like, all right, dude, what's up? What's up, man? What are you getting at?
Yeah.
It's my cat.
That's why I say cats are the most menacing, or like the creepiest animals.
Yeah,
that
for
they
sure.
actually are.
Well, yeah, they
Because
hide
they'll
behind
just do
curtains and then stab you when you walk past them.
for
They
sure.
hide on
yeah.
stairs, stab you when you go down
That's
them.
what
I
I'm
mean,
Their eyes glow in dark.
Yeah,
All of a sudden
yeah.
they turn into night animals. They can see in the dark and they'll attack you while you sleep. I mean, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a good time.
it's
But,
a good
hey,
time. Yeah.
I do love animals and I do love cats. I will own the creepy little guys.
Oh, that sounds horrible. I will own those creepy little guys.
No,
I'm gonna
they will.
own
They
them.
will be part of me family.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there we go. God, that is hard to do. It's like, imagine being a weatherman, where you gotta
Yeah,
point
be
to
super-
something.
Yeah,
Of course, you got
I
training.
think you do
but-
hours of training,
But
maybe days.
when Ernie stands right there and just stares at us. That's a good one. Good time.
That is.
So the boys have officially wrapped up their
Yes, the season
season
has
2.
dropped.
The finale has come out, and wow. So let's just get what you had texted me out of the way. Dude, that's like, your most iconic Batman type of scene
For
where they're
sure, yeah.
standing
Yeah.
at the tallest spot in front of the moon, right? And then this
Overlooking the city.
this dude's just like, I could do anything I want.
Yeah.
Just jerking it, man.
That's I loved the ending, but like the ending, like the total wow was like over, and like I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like kind of waiting for the bites for next season type of thing.
Yeah, like
that
what's
stuff that
gonna
starts
build
happening.
up?
Yeah, so like I'm like waiting for that. All of a sudden, it gets to this scene, and I cannot. Oh my goodness! And at first, like as soon as the scene it came across his face, I knew what he was doing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
well yeah, you've seen
I
him.
mean-
You've seen
Well,
him do
yes,
those things.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this guy is definitely. And then they see it, and he's just going to town. It's so funny.
Yep.
Oh man, it makes me laugh.
He's having fun with the city.
Yeah, welcome to the boys.
Welcome. Yeah. Wow. I was.
That should be the entrance of season 3.
Yeah. Can we just
finishing
continue
it.
on from Homelander? The Homelander just friggin' jerking it to the. I could do anything I want. Like, okay, buddy, settle down.
Yeah, you're fine.
Settle
Dude.
down.
Okay.
Easily, like, one of the greatest moments of the episode is when I truly did not know. I mean, I have a hard time seeing what's going to come next in The Boys because I get really captivated by the characters and what's happening, and and you don't necessarily go and try to figure out what's gonna, what's happening all the time. Sometimes you just like are watching it. You're just a ride. You're just on the ride. And when Kimiko and Starlight are battling Stormfront, but Stormfront's just like, you're gonna need some extra power, like like I'm gonna whoop all of you right now. And Queen Maeve comes in. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
awesome, this is so awesome. And then when they show Huey, Frenchie, and what was it, Mother's Milk useless over on the side, and then the three women just beating the shit out of Stormfront. I'm like, that's right, man.
Yeah.
They know how to do a female heroine right there.
I'm done. Yeah.
Like that was such an awesome scene. Like the MCU couldn't get that right there. Oh my God. I just thought, I was like, that's it. That's right there. They're just like beating the shit.
I mean, over and over again. I mean, I loved it when she was staying in the middle, and then all of a sudden, everybody just all of a sudden taking their turns. Boom!
Oh yeah, dude.
Getting hit over and over again. That was awesome.
So good. Because it's like they're all getting some revenge in there, man.
Sure, yeah.
This is for all of us. Oh.
Yep.
She's like, I could have handled everything except for when you called me a Nazi. They just don't like the word Nazi. And they're like,
They don't.
Yeah. Yeah, rightfully so, you dummy.
Yes.
The world doesn't like Nazis, and we'll do whatever Man, all right, so I'll let you talk for a little bit, but my most shocking moment was I figured that the boy... I wish or I'll look up his name here real quick, but it's Homelander's son.
Yeah.
I figured he was going to take care of Stormfront. I figured this dude is just gonna blast away and do something. But then like the way they fill the screen, I'm like, uh-oh. That was like unchecked power, and so there's gonna be a casualty. So, like, in my mind, during, like, these few seconds of, like, wondering what is happening, I'm like, do you think Billy Butcher has more story to tell? Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course.
And I'm like, I wouldn't give this gig up. I'd be like, write me some new shit, even if my character development is up, because I want to stay on the show. So I'm like, I'm just hopeful, like, whatever. And then when they took out the mom, I'm like, damn, that's a rough one,
Super rough. That was probably I wasn't sure. I thought it was gonna be like a random person on the outside. Like,
yeah, to be honest,
somebody. Yeah, and I thought the mom would be okay. I mean, really,
that's or hurt.
Well, 100%. Yeah, she was
not dead. Like, whoa,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Whoa. By the way, spoilers. Sorry for the alert.
Yes, sorry.
Oops. Anyways, there are spoilers. Anyways, continue on.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, the one thing, since we already kind of spoiled that, but, like, I think, I don't know.
Ryan, his name's Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah. For some reason I want to call him Zach, but Ryan.
His blonde hair, probably Zach Morris,
He's
just another Zach Morris.
He does have the long hair like him, too. It's so funny.
He's got his cell phone.
Yep. Sorry. What was I? So we were talking about the boy.
Yeah, I said the most shocking moment that I thought was actually killing the mother.
Yeah.
Just because now, all right. So I just really I love the addition of Starlight into the boys because, well, obviously she's back with the Seven, but she's she's gonna be. I mean, so how awkward, right? The original Seven. Well, no. Except for the Deep. So most of the original Seven is back. Starlight's back in. A-Train's coming back.
Oh, yep.
But yet everybody knows their shit. So like Queen Maeve knows Starlight's shit and how she was a rat, but like and leaked Vought. everybody like knows everybody's dirty laundry. So it's just like these heroes are not heroes. And like the world is so blind to it. It's just so funny because, Homelander talking about how bad Stormfront was and apologizing to Starlight was probably like his ego, is just taking a beating.
Yeah.
But I love her addition into the boys just because it gives it just like such a well-roundedness, but the Billy Butcher just has a hatred for Soups. So any Soup, in his opinion, should die. But then we get Kimiko, and then she helps them so much. So it's like, obviously, like, okay, she's on our side or whatever. But he knows in the back of his head, like, hey, if anything goes wrong, we're going to have to try to kill her because she might kill us. Blah, 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 blah. But it was the same thing with Starlight. He tried to kill Starlight. He put that huge round into her her chest or whatever, and she didn't die. But it's like, now that she's in the group, it kind of softens him even more to, hey, Soups are not all evil.
Not all bad. Yeah,
and so when he's given Ryan and she says, you've got to do everything you can to make sure he's okay, he will, because he knows Starlight's there for us. Kimiko's there. Queen Maeve showed up and saved their asses. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
So it was just like a really cool build up to him now being able to accept that responsibility.
Yeah, sure. That is, yeah. I'll definitely give you that. Yeah, it was, at first I thought he was going to stand up, and after what happened, I was going to stand up, and the eyes that he had for that kid at that moment, I'm like, well.
Yeah, I was like, they'll pick up the crowbar. Picks up the crowbar. Don't take a step forward.
Kid.
Takes a step forward.
Exactly. Yeah. Is going in the wrong direction. I just say that for quite a bit. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, I think like bringing up like the deep and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like that's some things to like kind of take away from the season. That, I mean, truly, you can mess up one time like this and go through whatever you want to go through, and you just are going to get exiled again over and over and over again. And you know what I mean? Once again, as being a Soups, I want to know what he's going to do. I think he's going to come back and actually work against Vought.
Yeah.
Be part of that, I think, is what's going to happen, personally.
I think for the deep, I think he's, it sucks because you don't ever want to root for a piece of shit like that who sexually
100%.
assaulted,
Yes.
But they give you that character. It's like rooting for Reek at the end of Game of Thrones. You're like,
yes, you're
this guy's a real piece of shit, but I know he's been through some shit as well. So
yeah,
there is a redeeming quality about him, and you start to feel bad for the deep at the end of season 1, going to Sandusky and all that stuff, and then like that girl who like bangs him, like just starts like fingering his gills.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Oh God, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, that got to hurt. But like, and him going through just that emotional breakthrough of like, my gills are ugly. It's like, no, they're beautiful. Like,
yes,
what other human has gills, bro?
Exactly.
That's
you are
awesome.
So you are a unique person.
Exactly. So I just, in this season, when he gets the call to go help out the Seven, and he's like, thinks he's thwarted the boys, and he puts the whale in front, but still
not good.
Billy Butcher says we could go through that whale, and it's just like you can see the heartbreak. It's just like this dude has just been taking beating after beating after beating.
And then yes,
yeah. So a Soup can only take so much, and a person can only take so much. He's got power. He's got to be some sort of strength. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So but I'm commanding the sea could probably be pretty lethal.
I mean, insanely lethal, actually. I think that would, like, rethinking of like some superpowers and stuff. I mean, that's one that is pretty awesome. I'm just
pretty
saying.
Awesome,
Yeah,
it occupies quite a bit of space on Earth,
It does.
So I also think that there's going to be something big that happens with him next season. I don't think he's going to want to try to get back in with a Seven. I think
no.
I think he's going to try to take matters in his own hands.
Oh yes, yeah.
But speaking about getting back into the 7, A-Train played the game, man.
Oh, I 100%.
That was
yes.
awesome.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to remember. That was one of my most shocking things. I just didn't expect the second round of it, right? I
Yeah.
knew he was gonna I thought he was just gonna we were saying bye to A-Train. I
Yeah.
thought he was just gonna be one of those things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He
Or
found
like-
a place in everywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it'd be like similar to where how much we see of the Deep. Like we'd see him, but it'd be like some broken down version of him. You know?
Exactly. Absolutely, yeah. So something along those lines, right? And then all of a sudden, when he shows up, it's funny because he shows up and then and is it what Starlight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Starlight steps in front of him, and she's gonna take on the blast of him, right? He's gonna A-Train's not gonna do that, and then they have the little conversation. He's like, I just want back in, bitch, and hands it over, and I'm like, oh, nice,
Yep.
dude, nice, because that was a breakthrough. You know what I mean? That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, never mind. I'll talk about it in a minute. I had another shocking moment, but
When
I
he
won't ruin anything.
when he earlier in the season when he was on when he was talking to Annie or Starlight and was saying like you don't get it, like if you leave the 7 you can go back to like your family might have had money, you might have had family. Once I'm out of the 7, like you don't know what it was like growing up poor, you don't know what it's going to be like going back to being poor for me. So his fight to stay relevant and stay alive, it was just awesome to see. When he gets in their car and he's like, "What's up, shitheads?" or whatever.
Yeah.
I almost blurted out whatever I was drinking because I was just like, "That is awesome. What's up,
that's
shitheads?"
awesome.
You know, like, wow,
Yeah.
dude, you don't just hop in somebody's car like that, man. But dude,
that's impressive.
yeah.
I
And
mean, what?
the Deep saying like, "Whoa, that dude's a piece of shit." He's like, "I thought it showed real initiative."
Yeah,
Oh, like the Deep is just never
ever right.
right, and it's because like deep down he wants to do the right thing, and it's just never it's never the right thing.
Ever when he's talking about his arrow buddy, his arrow guy, and he's like, oh, I love that guy.
Yeah.
He'll help me get through everything. Oh, he is a what,
He will not.
I
He
forget the
should
wording.
not be talked to
Yeah, he
again
sh-
or whatever.
Yes, he is
that
bad
guy.
mouthing or the original. Yeah. Fuck that guy. It's just so funny. Dude. All of a sudden, it's just he just clicks. Whatever's going on, he's the yes man. You know what I mean?
Fresca
That's what
sucks, you know.
That's so good.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was
speaking-
the highlight. I was like,
Yes.
awesome, hell yeah. That means
Yeah.
the Deep has had it.
Yes, he's over with. So
He's
that's why, like, as soon as I see that happen, I'm like, okay,
Yep.
it's now gonna go to where he's gonna go to.
Yeah, the bow and arrow guy. What was his name?
Uh,
That's all right. Shock.
yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
is it?
Eagle the Archer.
Yes, there it is. Yes. I knew it was something to Archer, but I was trying to figure it out. But yeah, so like, I mean, because I forget what was the even reasoning that they said to.
For why he was being exiled or whatever.
Yeah.
They just said he had become toxic, and it's because like he never like fully conformed. He just said the words.
Gotcha.
Because even
Okay.
with talking with the Deep, he's just like, "Oh right, like the lady had to
Yeah.
keep correcting him about how like it wouldn't even make sense for an archer with arrows in today's day and age, right?" It's like, but it is a timeless and classic thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's your thing. So yeah, that'd be kind of a cool thing. Like they start teaming up and maybe taking out the bad soups because you still got to figure out how to. Having Homeland around is just not healthy.
No, not one bit. I mean, he's the one. I think like the funny thing is he's supposed to be America's superhero,
He's
and he's actually America's most evil person on the planet. I think. I mean, seriously.
when they're having sex on the side of the building, and he just squashes that dude's head or whatever, man.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
or,
Mhm.
or she's like rubbing
The
him
homeless
off,
man,
and,
right?
and he's
Yeah.
like, there's so many heads that explode in this
Oh.
in this show.
That
Which-
was my shocking part. I don't want to. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Why?
but I just want to.
We've spoiled literally everything.
Okay, so you're talking about the person at the end of
Yeah,
the
I was
episode?
truly shocked about who was actually the
too.
one exploding the heads.
That's what I mean. I'm not gonna. I don't. I mean, I just want to name it, but I'm just saying, it was a twist that I did not expect whatsoever.
Corey, we've already like spoiled everything.
I can't. Well, I know. I'm just saying. I just don't want to. That's one suspenseful thing that could lead up to everything else.
It doesn't make any
Okay.
sense. Like if
Which-
we've spoiled everything else, that it's just
Okay.
yeah. Those heads exploded because there was a soup in the building that you didn't know was an actual soup. What was her name though?
Yeah. I can't remember.
Was it Victoria? Yeah, Victoria. So Victoria plays a senator or something like that. Senator in the
Yeah.
Congress in the show.
That's against Vault.
That's against Vought, but really is not against Vought. It's actually for Vought, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, man. I was trying to think, like, you know, what could possibly be making these heads explode, you know?
Yeah. See, do you know who I thought it was? Remember? Do you remember the person that was that when they like the
The insane asylum type of thing.
yes
Oh,
yeah,
the soup,
whatever it
the
is.
soup center. Yeah.
The soup center, yeah. So like that
Soup
person, that
center.
girl, I'm pretty sure it was a girl.
Shaved head.
Yeah, the shaved head girl that was walking out. I'm pretty sure we saw her walking down the street. That's who I thought that did the entire thing. That I thought somehow she got her way into something. Somehow so like that's when in my mind I'm like that's it. So I had my mind set, and all of a sudden at the very end I'm like, oh, here she comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's this girl, and I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah,
hold on a second. You know what I mean? Like that, it blew my mind.
We thought the same thing, that it was that lady from the soup center, which is funny to say soup center, and
I know.
the liquid soup is not there. But yeah, we thought it was the same thing, but then we realized, like, well, what they're doing is pro Vought, and if anything, that girl would probably not be pro Vought. She'd probably be exploding the other head. So then I was like, okay, well then, I was like, well, that'd be cool if there was like some sort of Ant-Man in this series that like maybe slipped in and is like, you know, around all the time, who knows, you know, type of thing. But hey, a lady who can I guess just explode heads. That's one hell of a friggin' power.
I know.
That's like the only thing you can do. That's like a very specific.
Yes. This person, you can blow heads up.
Yeah. That's your
your mind.
soup ability.
Yeah.
Not any part of the body, just the head.
No. I wonder if she just fine tuned it, or if that's really.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I hope there's more to it. I hope she turns into like a super villain. We find her out, and she turns into like not a super villain, but like the next person that we actually try to go after.
Right.
Like the boys do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that'll have to be how it is, just because I mean Huey's going to be working for her.
Yes.
Which I thought was quite interesting. I thought it was kind of an odd, like, it's perfect to place him in there, but him as a character, he has just tried to like run away or do his own thing so many times that I thought like him having this family was kind of like the ultimate thing. So him having to go out on his own again, just kind of, that was probably the only thing all season that felt like, that just doesn't seem like a Huey thing, especially like after Starlight, like they both tell each other that they love each other, but indirectly, you know what I mean? And then they kiss and talk, and then he's just like, I want to be on my own 2 feet. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
got it. This dude's an idiot. He's
exactly.
he's a real
Dumbass.
big idiot. He's like
Yes.
Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels of Dumb and Dumber, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really shocking to see, like, oh, that's the lady that's or that's the soup that's blowing people's heads up. Awesome.
Yeah. It was fantastic. That part of the show was great for me because, like I said, it blew my mind. But I have to say, I mean, I don't know where they're gonna go from here with it. That's the only. I mean, I know where they're gonna go, but like how is my only thing. Like what's gonna happen? Now my mind's already wandering into season 3. I can't help it because
I
this
know
season was
it's
so
gonna be
awesome.
a long
yeah,
ways
that's, I'm
away.
just going
You know?
into this. I know, like that's the thing that sucks, but whatever. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, at least we had like a lot of memorable moments, and
Yeah.
to go back and rewatch.
For sure.
Oh,
I mean, and
no,
there was, but
those
there
would
was
be
a
good
lot to it.
Funko Pops.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait. Whoops. Looks like
Yep.
the collection is expanding.
It was growing just a little bit.
Yeah, the whole series was just like I felt pretty nonstop. Like
Yeah.
something noteworthy happened in every episode. It wasn't and then, you know, coming off of a season 1 like that was just like that was like holy shit. I've never seen TV like that. And then you're going to do it again and you're still going to make my jaw drop with like, "Oh my god, like these things happen?" Like the first person that had lost their head. Oh, that FBI agent, you know?
Oh,
When they met her
yes.
up at the spot, like her head explodes. Like, oh great, now this is happening. You know,
Yeah.
heads are just gonna start randomly exploding.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a movie coming out with Catherine Langford. She's the girl who was in 13 Reasons Why. But if I remember, these kids going to high school start randomly exploding, like they're just. Yeah, they're just sitting in class and all of a sudden one of them
Spontaneous
just
combustion,
explodes
huh?
and they're like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then others start exploding. So they're like, "Wow, being a kid's really tough." Yeah, we never had it bad like you guys, you know. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, I don't know
absolutely. Yeah,
how you
that's
have
terrible.
a whole movie of that, but all right. Whatever. Looked interesting. Anyways, so as far as like what where we're gonna go in season 3, that's what I thought was really funny about seeing Homelander, Maeve, and Starlight standing up there, A-Train coming back, and I'm just like, this is awkward as shit. Like, where is this gonna go? There's gonna be so much like infighting or don't talk to me that way because I'll expose you. Like all these, like there's gonna be just all this shit. So it's like, what if they actually come together? Like, what if
Always.
they actually
Yeah.
did some good?
Mm-hmm.
Flip
Yeah.
that
That's,
script.
I mean, that could very well flip the story. Yeah. I mean, but that, I mean, because you are right. I mean, potentially they could do that. I mean, they could, you know what I mean? Because the Homelander, I think right now I think he's out for vengeance, but at the same time, though, I think he's also, I mean, if you think about it, he lost 2 things. He doesn't know where his son's at, and, you know what I mean? And he also,
Yeah, that Becca.
I
Stormfront.
literally just
Yeah,
thinking her
yeah, yeah.
name.
Stormfront. Yeah.
Stormfront. What? Well, yeah. Well, say so. Stormfront. So he lost her.
Oh no, she's
Well,
still alive.
I think maybe the only thing
Yeah.
I have to say because she
Yeah.
never officially.
They
Yeah,
said
she
that,
never officially
that she's
died,
being
but,
held
I mean that's
at
the thing. But
at the Vought facility. Yeah. Yeah.
oh yes, you're right. Yeah. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Because actually, I ended up rewatching the second episode.
How nice.
I mean, the last episode again. I watched it a second time, just because I'm like, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. You know, because they even brought back.
Did they?
Black Noir. They brought him back too.
Okay.
Well, they didn't. They mentioned him. They said that he was in a coma, but they don't know if he was breathing, but they don't know if they did brain damage
Oh
or not
man,
because
that
it's
is
hard to
such a
tell,
hell of
is
a
what they said.
weakness. And Almond Joy, dude, that is so good.
I'm
He's a
telling you.
tree nut
Yeah,
allergy.
I mean, yeah. That's insane.
That's the one
I mean,
thing
like,
that's
what- like, that
preventing
would
your
suck.
body
Like,
from regenerating
you know,
itself. Like
damn it.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that was like
You
a
can
moment that
literally do whatever
that
you
was
want out
really fun too. In what seemed like kind of like a slower episode was when Black Noir shows up to Billy Butcher's aunt's house, and they rigged that place with explosives, and they're downstairs in the basement. And he's just walking through. You hear the footsteps, explosion. A little bit of silence. You hear the footsteps again. Explosion. So by the time you see him, he's still in his suit and
Yep.
everything. But it's like this dude could take a beating. I mean, he took down Starlight. He could have killed
Beat up.
Starlight.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, it's Queen Maeve is pretty strong as well, though.
Multiple times. Yeah. See, thank you. That was the one thing I was gonna say. That
I mean,
Queen Maeve actually came out.
if
and I
she's
think
kind of modeled
named-
after Wonder Woman, she's
I
got to
think-
be pretty freaking strong. So, yeah.
Yes, 100%. I think that's her big thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So I think that's
The amount of
I'm
times
like,
that she
this is
stepped in,
awesome.
dude,
You know
it
what I
was
mean? This
just
is
like,
sweet. You know what I mean. It's like it really.
fuck yeah, it's just like got me pumped. Yeah,
Yes.
you're fucking awesome.
Yeah, you're awesome. Oh, for sure. Yeah. And then eventually standing up to, you know what I mean. It was cool to see her finally stand up to
Homelander.
Yep. Homelander. Finally stand up to him
that's
at the
huge,
very
yeah.
end with that video. You know what I mean? That's huge. Like that just shows. You know what I mean? That just shows her. She finally like
She
she
took
became
ownership for the
her
shit she
true
did,
badass.
and then she stood up. No, that was awesome. That was so cool. You see her in her apartment or whatever. She's got like the bong. She's like smoking. You could tell she's like probably kind of drunk or something.
Yeah.
And she's like that good conscience is
Mm-hmm.
always there. She's a good person. Yeah. And that I
Yeah,
thought
'cause
about
she
that
truly
when
is.
we
I
were
mean,
watching the
you know what I
last
mean? I think
episode.
that-
I was like, man, think about this. Like I mean, just like Starlight, I mean, I guess like that's literally the premise of like the first couple episodes or whatever. But Starlight, like, or even Queen Maeve, when the Seven is first being created, or you are first brought in, and you're looked at as a hero and all this shit, and then you meet the Homelander, and realize this is not going to be fun. This is not going to be good. This guy's a freaking psycho. And I feel like I should have rhymed there because I had like I messed up. I couldn't think of anything, and
Yeah. You messed up, man.
but it just like I get you when Homelander's around. You just have a little butterflies in your stomach because you just don't know what the hell he's gonna do.
Yes.
You never know when he's sincere. You never know when he's.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with even with Stormfront. I felt like even for him, like there were times where he just did not agree with her. When she had brought up like how they like she kind of looked down upon parading around and standing for photo ops and all that stuff. Well, that's Homelander. Like he loves that stuff. He loves like photo ops and getting his points. Yeah, his attention, the points are
Attention's
going
on
up.
him.
I mean, that's
Yes, for sure.
that's more
Yep.
to him than like anything else. So when she kind of like was talking down upon it, and his face kind of like gave like a sad puppy dog look, it's just like, I was like, hey, yeah, that's everybody has their opinion, but I want to know. I wonder. I bet you somebody probably translated it, but I wonder what she was saying in German at the end there.
Oh,
that
yeah, at the
Nazi
very end.
whore.
Yeah. That's funny. And I'm shocked that
Yeah.
actually they didn't put like
Maybe they're like,
sub-
do your
subtitles up.
work, America. Go learn
I mean? I'm just
German,
shocked about that.
America.
That's true.
But yeah, that seeing her without her legs or
true.
like her arm like comes up, she had the knife in the eye.
It was insane.
That lady was
Yeah.
messed up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was really.
Yeah, piece of
I mean,
trash.
because she truly is.
when she was trying to teach Ryan
So it was a
about
great thing.
how
Yeah.
the whites are under attack and genocide and all this stuff. I'm like, wow, like.
Oh yeah.
I felt like this season was super reflective of Bond, obviously, today's age right now, like what's going on right now, and like that was one of
Yeah.
those things. Is like, oh my god, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're obviously saying, wow, who could ever think of that filth? But what about a little kid who was raised hearing that, right? So it's just like, man, like, hate. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, that's true.
it's so awful. Like you're just
It's yeah.
trying to teach this kid to hate
It
right
is.
off the bat. That's just so fucking sick.
And for
Yeah, that's
terrible.
why. Like I felt
for
like
no reason. That's the thing.
A-Train when he knew, like when like the look that she would give him and like how she would talk to A-Train in the beginning when she joined the team and he was leaving or whatever. He was like, he knew that she was a racist, you know, and he was like, I'm not being replaced by a racist.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that. And I agree with you,
Yeah.
A-Train. I'm glad to see you back in there.
And good, yeah, good for him.
Well, especially
Yep.
because Shockwave.
Yeah, he did the right thing. That's for sure.
Shockwave's brains are all over the floor. So.
Well, that's very true. No, that's true. Okay, so that's the one thing I was gonna bring up. The only thing I question. So remember how the girl that's in the boys,
Kimiko.
okay, the badass fighter girl,
Kimiko.
yeah, Miko, yeah.
Frenchie.
No, what Kamita? What's the guy's name? Frenchie. Thank you, Frenchie. I knew. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. But anyways, I was gonna say Frenchie's girl. That's what I was gonna say. But so her brother is a soup. She broke his neck and he didn't survive. She broke
You
her
don't-
neck. And she
You don't
was
remember
snapped
from
back
the
into
first
place
season?
and
She's
stuff.
she's the equivalent of Wolverine. She regenerates. Yeah, she'll her bones
just
will fix
replenishes
themselves
herself.
and she'll regenerate. Yeah. When we're
must have missed
introduced to
that part. I
Kimiko,
must have just not,
I
like,
mean
carried
she's
that part
called
over.
the female in the first season. That's when we meet her. She gets like messed up. She basically gets killed and she's in the streets, and then she starts coming back to life. So yeah. I knew I was
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
you're
neck
right,
snap.
you're
I'm like, no, we've seen her come back. I'm not worried about that one. Like, yeah.
Oh,
Where
yeah, okay. Yeah.
The
See,
brother's
that's where I messed
power,
up.
he
I'm
was a
like, oh,
telekinetic.
man,
like he could move shit. So they just got some powers. Which if they
Gotcha.
could stabilize that,
Okay, I mean that makes sense.
I'll
They're all
take
different soups.
just give me the muscle bound freakness of Captain America
with
and give me Chris Evans' body and I'll be good. I'll lift cars up and
Yes.
use a shield if you want.
yeah.
Sign on the
everything else.
dotted line, you know.
Done. That's funny.
I'm pretty sure the body just takes care. He's eating Twinkies. He's eating whatever he wants, and like his body's still like is in perfect shape. Never has to work out. That's the ability I'm looking for. Right. I could eat like a
I'm
large
in.
pizza and still
I
have
mean,
a
that's
six-pack
impossible.
abs. You know, that's what I'm looking for. So, Vaught, if you're listening, if you could, create that. Yeah, give me a sample. But
Yeah,
that
sample.
was a pretty wild moment to watch when they go into that hospital and it's a bunch of soups, you know, like they're trying to create soups.
Well, yeah. They're trying to. Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, they're going to create terrorists because they're also keeping them locked up into a. I mean, you know what I mean? Anybody turns into. I mean, an unstable human being when they're locked into a room. I'm just saying, over and over and over again. So anybody like that, they are still human
Well, and
beings. that just
did
have
you notice the
powers.
skin
That's
color
what it
on
is.
all of them in there?
You know, I mean,
Pretty sure they were all white. Yeah, exactly.
well, yeah. Yeah, well, because you know why? It was led
Oh,
by
well.
the fucking Nazis.
Yeah, it
Community
gets me
but, yeah.
amped up. Yeah,
That's how
I
I feel
think
about it.
fuck Nazis, man, is okay. Like
yeah,
that could be
yeah.
on Disney. You could say that on Disney. Fuck Nazis.
sure.
I think
Yeah,
you can
okay.
say
All right.
that
That's true.
on every family program I know of.
Yeah.
You can't say fuck. You have to say Nazis.
That's awesome.
You know, you have to say fuck Nazis.
But you can say-
and you- oh,
Yeah,
that's
got it.
acceptable.
Okay.
I was
No, I
gonna
get it.
bleep it, but what came after was very acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that was one of my favorite moments during the season was Lamplighter. So the guy who plays Lamplighter, was Iceman in the Fox X-Men movies, which I thought was hilarious because his friend in the X-Men movies, well, he winds up joining Magneto's side, but he is the flame guy, you know, like he was the guy with the lighter and could do the flame, you know, the fireballs and all that stuff. But the guy who was Lamplighter, he was Iceman. He turned everything to ice and all that stuff. So to see him as Lamplighter carrying around a lighter and using it, I'm like, that's awesome. I'm wondering if like they had this character and they're like, without a doubt, this is who I want playing it because I think it would just be funny, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You've been Iceman, now you've been Lamplighter.
It adds to the whole thing. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
that story was really. I felt like the Boys just works in a lot of heartbreaking shit, you know, along with tossing the laughs in, just like to find out about how the Lamplighter didn't realize that he was killing those kids, how Frenchie went to go help a friend from ODing, but him doing that got those two kids killed. And it's just like, you know, butterfly effect. You know, a butterfly flaps its wings and typhoon hits across the world, you know? So it's just like every little thing has a consequence. And that's just like a rough story. Like who would want to, I felt like that was such a sweet moment when Lamplighter's like, oh man, I really wanted to do it in front of my statue. It would have made my dad so proud. And then he just turns himself into a big flaming pile, and then hey, turns the sprinkler system on. And then you're like, oh, that douche, that selfless douche or selfish douche. And then once you realize what happened, it was like,
sure.
That dude's pretty damn cool, you know. Thanks, dude. Thanks, Lamplighter.
Got it. For sure. Yep.
You're kind of a piece of shit, but you're all right, you know? You're all right.
Yep. Yeah. You still you made up for it right at the very end.
So
you at least like
at least like you followed through.
Total. You weren't for sure.
The Boys, the main character Huey, he was actually in the comics, because this is all there's a separate comic book called The Boys, and when the comics came out, they modeled Huey after Simon Pegg in Shaun of the Dead, that character. So by the time they started actually doing The Boys, Simon Pegg was too old to play Huey, so they asked Simon Pegg to play Huey's father. Which is pretty cool, you know. You still get to be a part of it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But yeah, that's just such a fun series, man.
Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, I can't wait for the next season. I know it's gonna be a long time, but it's a show that like I was really.
They really took a risk, rolled the dice on that one, because.
I mean, seriously. Yeah.
It's.
But because it's definitely edgy.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! The beginning of that one episode where Neil from Community, it goes into the store. Like, dude, that's what I'm talking about. They had some heartbreaking moments.
Dude, that is so Yes. Yeah. When he did that, it literally made me like feel like. It brought me into the feeling of what's happening in their life, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Wanted the audience to feel like, you know what I mean? When he did that, it wasn't true. Yeah. You know, like he just saw a light glimmer in his eyes. Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? And that's a sad thing. I mean, just like, I mean, it's just how they put you into the vibe of what's going on, because you don't think about those things. They don't show the population. Really, only thing they show is like their rallies, where of course everybody's gonna come there and love the people that they're rallying for. You know, like that's how it's gonna go. So that's what you see. So then all of a sudden you see these real life people like that. You're like, well, wait a minute. You know, now
and you're watching the news and you're seeing what's happening, and you're being fed whatever station you grew up watching, and it explains a lot of what's going on today, you know, with misinformation and leading the public in other places.
Yeah, well, 100%.
That's exactly how I felt too. I was like, wow, that's a statement. Like that's a that's like a Joker statement,
Yep.
you know? Like that's kind of what it made me feel like, because man,
Exactly.
when I was like,
Exactly.
oh, come
Yep.
on, don't actually,
I'll
don't
give you that.
pull the trigger, man, don't pull the trigger. He's like, if I pull the trigger, are you gonna, he's some soup terrorist or whatever, and just, your life's gone, and that guy's life is gone
Yeah.
for nothing. Oh, the boys,
For nothing.
heartbreaking. I'll tell you that the moment that like Becca Butcher is killed and talking to Billy, and he's like, it's like this dude has spent a season trying to find her, and then a season just to figure out a way just to be with her,
Yes.
and then it's just like,
And then she finally comes back, and then
well, right, yeah,
the
yeah,
bastard son, in his eyes at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like that. That's how Butcher's looking at it.
We'll say,
He kills
yeah,
her,
saved
not
all
on
of them.
purpose. He was actually trying to save her, but at the same time, yes. So really, you know what I mean? He's not a bastard by any means. He just told him,
Remember what
don't
I
be a
told
cunt.
you? Don't be a cunt. Hell yeah,
That's so funny when he said that.
Billy Butcher. Yeah, that's like
Yep.
the number one word that comes out of that friggin' that friggin' show, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder how it has to feel to be
That's funny.
like Aya Cash, the girl who plays Stormfront. Like how it would just suck to be on this awesome show and like you're the Nazi queen, you know? Like I mean, hey, you take your
Yes,
acting
yeah, well,
gigs
yeah,
and
of
you
course,
can't,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she did a great job. I mean, you hated her from the beginning. You knew
100% agree
Something
with you. She
was
did a
up.
fair job. Oh, she was yeah. Really, honestly, I couldn't put a absolute like finger to it, but I knew there was something wrong. You know what I mean? You just know you're like, yeah, this is
Yeah,
not
not at all.
a fantastic person here. I'll tell you that.
Well, so yeah, we talked about everybody, I think. Because, so we got Frenchie,
Yeah, so I
who's
think
actually
we-
learning Kimiko's sign language. We got Mother's Milk,
Yes.
who, since all the charges have dropped and everything is good to go, he got to go home to his family. Yep.
Yep, he kept
Butcher
his word by
is
going
kind
home.
of free to do whatever he wants now, and not in a happy sense, but in the sense that, well, actually, no, he knows that Homelander's always going to be a threat because Homelander's always going to come for that boy. So that's what season 3 is going to be about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
But
100%.
yeah,
I know that's
but
gonna be
it's
Billy
like, how do you get
Butcher's-
the other
that's
team
gonna be
involved
him
when
in
they've
there, you know
been
what I mean? But
freed and like you guys, we don't owe anything anymore, you know?
Yeah, so, for sure. Like, I wonder if it's going to be something like they almost work together with Homelander to kill the other suit.
Yeah.
That's like blowing people.
Yeah, that would be like
The big
a
Victoria.
Raylan Givens.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like, I'm just trying to think
and,
of like something kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, Raylan Givens
Oh, you're talking
and
about you're talking about in Just
Boyd Crowder.
Raylan Givens and,
teaming up,
Boy
and
Boy Crowder.
helping each other out for the greater good, you know.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
What cracks me up is Homelander. If you look up, his name's Anthony Starr. He's from, I think he's from New Zealand. He looks just like a regular guy, you know. Like when they put him in the blonde hair and the get up, man. Like he obviously is like, that's fucking Homelander. But when you look up Anthony Starr, like it's just like, you're like, oh yeah, it's like a regular looking guy. He's got brown hair, you know. Like you'd never see that guy be like, oh yeah, that guy's a freaking psychopath. He is one hell of an actor because his facial expressions alone, like, tell you everything.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, when he walked out of that, when he killed all those cops at that last episode, when he walked out, and all of a sudden he's like, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he is
Like,
awful.
He is a terrible
But-
human being. You know what I mean? Like it's just, dude. When he turned around and shut that door, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
here we go.
I just
I'm like,
wanted to
dude,
see
you're
it,
so
you know?
excited about it. You know what I mean? Like it's not bad by any means.
But then, you know,
Exactly,
like, I
yeah,
hate
100%,
when they
yeah.
make you feel bad for a villain, just because, like Stormfront, you never felt bad for. She was just awful, pretty much through and through. And but Homelander has a really horrible upbringing. Scientists that didn't want to play with him or be near him because he was too powerful. He was abused because they wanted to raise him strong and all that stuff. Like, he was never given a chance to succeed in the first place. He was always going to be messed up in the head. You know what I mean? So it just sucks because you're like,
yeah.
When you start thinking that way, you're like, oh, he's not that bad. When.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I think that it would have been really important to raise up Ryan with his mom, because she could have created that different things. Now, she was going the wrong direction, though. You still can't take a person away from the world. That was her problem. I know she was doing it because of Vought, but at the same time, though, I think she just went too far with it, and that's what ruined his whole thing. I mean, think about, you know what I mean, if he did a little bit of his, because he would never want to be his dad at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to, he didn't have to learn about his superpowers.
And then, if you never told him that he'd have these powers, or if you never told him, that, any of that stuff, when he was just hanging out with a bunch of kids and they pushed him one day and he got mad. And he never knew that he had that power, or the fact that you keeping him in this neighborhood that has nobody else around, that. Exactly. I agreed with that. You can't just keep that kid in a bubble. That's just not. You're gonna have a lot of trust issues later on.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to interject with this real quick. So I typed in Anthony Starr.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The fan art. He wants to. What's that? Oh no, that he wants to be. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that they want him to be.
Yeah,
Wolverine,
he is. He's.
Yeah, so that's a huge
everybody
thing
right now. Luke Hemsworth wants to be the next Wolverine. Billy Butcher, his face, his gruff.
I think Butcher. Yeah,
unmatched.
Dude, yeah.
He looks like a goddamn wolf.
I mean, it fits it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, let's get that trending 100%. On Twitter.
So
hashtag Billy Butcher Wolverine,
I'm ready.
Or
I'm ready.
I guess Carl Urban is
the new Wolverine. Yep.
Both. Let's get both going.
Yeah, but I think we should preference it with. But exactly, yeah.
How about let's mix the Vought universe with the Marvel universe, right? And Billy accidentally gets injected with Compound V. And then turns into Wolverine. What? Dude, that'd be so sweet.
Whoa. You just blew my mind.
Yeah. I guess maybe you'd want maybe somebody. They should do what they're doing with the the Batman. Get somebody who's young, that way you have a longevity, Yeah,
oh yeah. Yeah. For sure. I mean, because if you do a well enough job, I think that you should definitely I think, because I don't know, I have a hard time, because the problem is I think with some of those actors, man, you gotta be perfect.
Oh yeah, you were in for 20 years, bro, because there's nobody else. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. There's nobody else. That's the thing. It's just that's hard.
Because my point of view would be, well, I mean, I guess yeah. So my point of view would be, if you're going to introduce a Wolverine back into the universe, he regenerates and he's got adamantium. You know what I mean? Or even if you don't even have him with adamantium, you just have him with bone or whatever. But
yeah,
the fact that he regenerates, he's not going to die, so he's going to be in every single one of your movies. You know what I mean? So it's find somebody who's not going to die. Find somebody who's going to,
for sure.
who has some longevity up in there. But Carl Urban, I think. I wonder how old Carl Urban is.
Yes. Yeah.
No matter the age I look up, he's still young enough to play Wolverine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's definitely the leg up.
He is 48 years old. I would never. I guess he was a baby in Lord of the Rings. I bet.
I mean,
no, stop it.
When I saw him in that movie, I definitely agree with you.
Oh, that was a fun thing to talk about, but you wouldn't know. because so
What's that?
the who is it? I forget. It was a Boromir and I can't remember the brother's name, but their father in Lord of the Rings was also Billy Butcher's father in the second season. So they're both from the original trilogy, which is pretty cool.
No.
I mean, Carl Urban has been in so much shit. You might
Okay.
as well throw him into MCU. Well, no, he's already been in the MCU. He was in Thor Ragnarok, but you know what? Nobody would ever recognize him. The Executioner.
No. I mean, who was he in Thor Ragnarok though?
Hela's right hand man. He's like welcome to my Tex ass, like, or he's like, I got them from a place called Tex ass,
Yeah.
I forget what he calls his guns, but at the end of the movie, he's just like shooting all the things. Yeah, Carl Urban is just great no matter what. So
You're right.
I guess he's got the job. I'll talk to the studios. I'll tell them. I'll say Disney.
Yeah. Okay.
I know the secret
Tweet.
behind how to get the F word on the Disney Channel. So I think now that I have the knowledge,
Yeah.
yep, and
you
I'll
send it
be
out
like,
to
listen, it's
you,
Carl
to
Urban
them,
for Wolverine, or I'll make sure nobody watches any other X-Men movies again.
Yeah. I mean, you got a solid 10 years with that gentleman before he ends up having.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that
away
is
from
like
the
a
screen.
kind of a good
Just
question.
saying.
So how old is
Solid.
Anthony Starr? Right, he is 44. So yeah, it's, 4 more years. God,
Wow. For sure.
man, 40s they look young. They look like babies. Now
Yeah,
Hugh
well, that's,
Jackman's got to be in his
welcome to
50s,
Hollywood.
right? All right, he's 52. Oh, what am I doing with my life? 33, and I'm not jacked. I'll tell you that. I'll take a superhero character. Marvel, hook me up with a character and hook me up with a
sure.
trainer. I'll get there.
Yeah. Get me in shape. Yeah.
Like, think about the self-discipline to be a superhero now,
Yeah.
The food.
Yeah,
Mm.
that workout plan would
You
suck.
think they'd let me eat a box of Twinkies? I don't think so,
No.
My current job, it allows me to eat as many Twinkies as I want. That's a Twinkie.
Easily. Yeah. That's Twinkie for breakfast, Twinkie for lunch, Twinkie for in
man,
between breakfast and
funny.
lunch.
Well, I could see.
That's
Well,
awesome.
yeah, all right. So that's
I got an
actually
apple
pretty
with
funny.
my Twinkie.
So the only people that we're recommending for Wolverine are from New Zealand. So Carl Urban and Anthony Starr are from New Zealand, and Hugh Jackman's from Australia. So it's just funny, like they're just like on that part of the world, That's where that's where you get
That's
your
what
you
Wolverine-
get your
Wolverine comes
Wolverines from there.
So, I'm just saying.
You get there's a particular neighborhood within that part of the world that there's like a severe amount of radiation that
Wolverines come under.
that's like in
fine.
that spot, and it births all. Oh, because Luke Hemsworth, he's Australian as well, right? Or are they New Zealand? Let me look up. I think I'm starting to see a trend. He's Australian.
That's crazy.
Or no,
That
is it Luke
wild.
Hemsworth?
Yeah,
Or
that's
is it
insane.
Liam? I wonder who actually wants to be. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Luke
Wolverine.
Hemsworth wants to be the next Wolverine. So yeah, yeah. It's very
That's crazy.
wild.
That's wild.
But yeah, so we got a long while to go on The Boys, which is really sad. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but great job, guys. You know what I mean? It was, fantastic. You guys really did a good job. I think, you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm
Oh yeah, I
angry
know.
that there won't be more. That's all.
Like
You know what
like
I mean?
we were saying, that's like
that's the only thing. I mean,
even
it
all
sucks,
right. So
but
they
it's
dropped the first 3 episodes, but even waiting, what we said 6 episodes, so
Yeah.
6 weeks, still felt like
yeah.
it went quick, and it's just not enough. We need. What happened to the days of 24
well,
episode seasons?
exactly.
You know? And David Lindelof had brought that up, or no, it was Carlton Cuse had brought that up. He's like, we were writing 24 episode seasons, right? And then you have all these other series that are like 8 episodes, 10 episodes. Like, why didn't we get that? Like, why did we have to do 24? Like, holy shit,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Like, that is a lot of hours of Lost, That's really funny. Like,
a lot.
the
You
amount
think
of
about that.
hours compared
mean-
to some of these other series is just like, oh yeah.
It just shows you the depth of Lost, though. I'm telling. I mean, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Still waiting for the constant to be a table read, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Still nothing. Nothing else.
Well,
yet.
what, you got anything else for the boys? And then I think next episode we'll talk about
the boys?
the haunting of Bly Manor. We'll get back to the spooky.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. yeah. Ooh. I want to try it. I'm not very good. But yeah, nothing else in the
Oh,
boys.
man.
I mean, definitely shocking. Well worth the watch. I mean, I think if you're listening to this and you have not watched it yet, I'm sorry we spoiled it, but I'm telling you, it's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I think it's
it was. We had to,
well
I had to talk
deserved. It
about
came out a few days ago. It's an entire series. It's done. It's wrapped.
Yeah.
And I'll put in. I'll make sure
It's
I put
fine.
in
Love
the
it,
description
though.
that
Good
there are spoilers. I'll make sure that everybody knows
Spoils,
before
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
they get all mad. Because I know I would hate spoilers too, but
Yeah.
you've had plenty of time. Your time's up.
Well,
Time's
yeah,
up.
for sure.
We're very
Yep,
respectful.
Time's up. We were very respectful of the show. I'm just saying. We've done a lot of episodes while this happened. Not one time did we talk about it.
We'll
or
probably
ruin
do the
anything.
same thing
We
with Bly
talked about it,
Manor.
mentioned it.
Because I think since all of the episodes have dropped, and by the time we actually get to air that episode, you've had plenty of time to watch it. Warning. Yeah, warning.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
just spoilers on this show,
Warning.
all right?
Warning.
It's easier
Yes.
to talk about the damn thing.
Just
Got
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
anything else?
so.
Ooh.
No, I think the only thing I just want to do a little public service announcement of something I just thought about. I just want everybody, if you have any of these things in your household, rip them apart because
Look at that.
things can get stuck inside of
that.
them and then in the sea, okay? So this is a very easy, something stupid to do, but just break them all apart. The reason I want to say this is because I was walking in my parking lot the other day and found one brand new sitting on the floor, all 6 together. So I took them, ripped them up, walked them over, and then set it on top of the trash can lid.
This
that
is what,
next
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
You can
Have like
see
take
that
a
this is what
picture
it's
of it,
supposed
put
to
like,
look like. It's not that
billboards
difficult.
up.
Yeah.
I agree. Fish,
Yeah. I'm
turtles,
just saying,
all
it's
sorts
not that
of
hard. It took me that- it took me
sea
2
animals getting
seconds to
stuck
do
in that
this.
and dying and eating
Exactly.
it and dying.
Yes.
Actually, he
mean,
would cry about it.
Deep would not like this. Exactly. So listen.
That's all we're
Just
asking.
please do it.
Thank
Okay?
you, Corey.
That's all I'm asking. Just
I
take,
appreciate that
take
PSA.
care of the animals. You're welcome.
No
no problem.
I'm gonna give a
You got anything for us?
Thursday movie suggestion. I didn't have one prepped, but we brought this guy's name up, and this movie is always on the tip of my tongue. Not really, but it always pops up in my brain whenever he comes up. I know we know him as Wolverine and everything, but Hugh Jackman is just so talented that he's been in so many great movies. There's a movie called Prisoner that you need to watch, but I'm not recommending that one yet. I'll recommend that one. I might have, but I don't think I have yet. Anyways, the movie that I'm going to recommend is The Fountain.
Okay.
It's a Darren Aronofsky film. And it's as a modern day scientist, Tommy is struggling with mortality, desperately searching for the medical breakthrough that will save the life of his cancer-stricken wife, Izzy. Now, that is like the bare minimum of what this movie is. This movie takes place in 3 different timelines.
Okay.
One in the past, one in the present, one in the future. And to this day, I'm like, huh? I'm like, wait, what? Like, it's just like a really beautifully done movie, a well-acted movie that just keeps you thinking. So that's The Fountain by Darren Aronofsky. Now, if you're a Darren Aronofsky fan, you've probably already watched
The Fountain.
Let me know your thoughts. I want to know what you thought about The Fountain. I got a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I think that makes it fresh. But still, that's kind of like a... I don't know. They're saying it's rotten, I think. That's all right. I don't care. Clearly, the last one I recommended was a 6%.
Yeah.
But The Fountain, man, it's such a beautiful movie, and there's such a great quote in there. It's like, "Death is a disease. There is a cure, and I will find it." And it's just this man who'll stop at nothing to find it. There's also a really good tracking shot in that movie that is really well done. That is just like, I don't know. I love choreography and tracking shots. So
yeah.
so like anytime that
You're a director
that a
at
frame
heart.
doesn't
I get it.
pop up within a minute and it's just like a little bit longer or whatever, it's like it's that much better. Like, look at True Detective, that episode where Russ takes that guy and they go through the buildings and out and through and out, and just like, it's incredible. Anyways, The Fountain.
It is
So Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz plays his wife, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Talks about the tree of life, So there's like, there's a lot of different elements and pulls from different religions and different ways of life and stuff like that. It's really cool. So check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are, and tweet us or email us what you thought. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, guys.
Thanks for
Thanks for
watching.
listening.